here with The Color is Green, and I'm just coming on to share with you 5 things to keep in mind if you're traveling while plant-based. Now, I've been plant-based for about 5 years and I'm into a pretty good routine. I know what I can eat, what I cannot eat, what I should stay away from. It took me all that time to get into a pretty good routine, and now I'm pretty much on autopilot. But that's not so much the case when I'm traveling. Yeah, traveling is a different story. So being on the go in different cities and a lot of times in different countries, it can be a bit of an obstacle course. Trying to be plant-based, meaning what you eat has no egg, no dairy, no meat, and that does include fish. It can be a bit of an obstacle course. Sometimes I'm pleasantly surprised by what options are available, and that's great, but there have been some horror stories. Ask me about the turkey burger situation. Oh, ask me about the oyster fried chicken that was supposed to be chicken fried mushrooms. Anyway, I digress. To save yourself the heartache and disappointment, save myself the heartache and disappointment, I thought about these 5 things that I really could do, and maybe this helps you too, but 5 things you really can do to kind of steer clear of any situations. The first thing is planning, and this is pretty easy, right? Like, we all have our smartphones, we have a world of information at our fingertips, so really it's just planning and kind of searching where you're going to see what vegan/vegetarian/plant-based restaurants are gonna be open and available in your area. That's pretty simple. And I've been using apps like Purple Cow to kind of give me the best of list. You can also use Yelp, Google, I mean, it's all out there. So it's really just about planning, figuring out what's gonna be available for where you are. That one's simple. But when there are no vegan restaurants in your area, what do you do? And some people might be thinking, well, plant-based is pretty mainstream. How could there not be any vegan options? This is no shade, but have you ever been to a country town in central Louisiana? Here's where you might wanna pay attention to this next tip. Order from the sides menu. And it can be a bit tricky because some places like to use meat in their vegetables as a default, meaning like bacon automatically goes in Brussels sprouts or cheese as a default in the salad. Is it necessary? No, but that's just the way it is. This brings me to the third point. You really have to kind of explicitly state that you're looking for options that are vegan or plant-based. If you're in a place that's not all vegan, you might have to explicitly state that you want a vegan meal or you want a plant-based meal. When they ask if it's an allergy or a preference, you know, depending on, you might have an allergy. I don't really have allergies, but sometimes I do stretch the truth and say that it's an allergy so that they can actually take me seriously. I have some stories where I've been pleasantly surprised, like the waiter noticed that I'm ordering from the sides menu and then goes the extra mile and talks about the vegan options that are off the menu. I love that. That's like an automatic 30% tip. You know, just, I'm sure if you're plant-based, you can understand why I appreciate that. So just, yeah, number 3, you may have to explicitly state that you're vegan and you want no animal products or no cheese, no dairy, no eggs in your meal. Here's the next thing, and it's an unfortunate reality, but you need to, if you're at a place that's not all vegan, check the food once it gets served, because I have had some situations where I've ordered one thing and then gotten something else. Sometimes a little egg can get slipped into your fried rice, or you know, you might get served chicken in your curry instead of tofu. It happens. Definitely a good tip, number 4, would be to actually check the food once it's served. And yes, I get paranoid because there have been some slip-ups. Ask me about the turkey burger situation. And lastly, if you're running low on trust and you just don't want to be out there with any, meat getting slipped into your meal, check out whether you're lodging where you can cook. Like if you have time to grocery shop and the lodging where you're staying, your Airbnb or your hotel has somewhere for you to actually cook, that could be a fun added part of the trip if you like cooking. This could actually be a fun part of the trip if your Airbnb or hotel actually has somewhere for you to cook and you have access to finding groceries. With the setup for cooking, that could actually be a good option. So it's 5th and last because it's not necessarily the most convenient and it might not fit the situation that you're in, but it is something to think about.